Hey everyone, so here I have two Osmo Action 3 cameras. This one, I labeled it number 1, is from the August 2022 batch, and when I bought it, it was terribly out of focus, but I managed to fix it by turning the lens counterclockwise. I think the focus is pretty much perfect now. And this one is new, it's from the November 2022 batch. And I haven't tampered with this one at all, I just updated the firmware. So here's my setup to test the focus. The two small DJI boxes are 30 centimeters from where I will place the camera. The big box is 40 centimeters. You can see the scale here goes all the way to 40. And then other objects are further. It shouldn't really matter how far, because DJI advertises that it should be focused from 30 centimeters to infinity. Now I don't really care if it's 30 or 40, but as an action camera it has to be focused from a certain distance to infinity, which this one, when I bought it, the first one, just wasn't. It wasn't in focus 50 centimeters from the camera, it wasn't in focus 2 meters from the camera, 30 meters, it just wasn't in focus until I fixed it. And yeah, it wasn't in focus because the lens was too close to the camera. So let's see if things improved with the November 2022 batch. I'll just show you the settings on both cameras. Escape mode. I'll show you the firmware. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, you can see the firmware is the same on both. And the settings are, I'm gonna take a still picture with some countdown, so I don't move the camera by pressing the button. The same here. White balance, 3500K. Format is RAW, because I'm not interested in any post-processing, any kind of software sharpening or whatever DJI might do to the picture. I just want the best representation I can get for what the sensor actually sees. So yeah, RAW it is. And exposure, you can see, is the same on both. The camera is gonna choose 200 ISO because it's a bit dark here, so it's gonna be the same. Okay, let's take the pictures. First on the camera number 1, which is the one I fixed. Okay, now go for camera number 2. And let's also try and take the video. Here I have 4K 50, rocksteady off. These are the settings. Exposure. Let's leave it like this. And just make sure it's gonna be the same on the other one as well. Okay, recording a video on camera number 2, the November batch. And the same with the camera number 1. Again, let's make sure the settings are the same as 4K50. Yeah, I think it is the same as the other one. So recording on camera number 1, the August batch which I fixed. Alright, so I've been looking at this for a while, and here are the results. So on the left side there is a picture from the old camera which I fixed from the August 2022 batch, and on the right side there is a picture from the new camera which I haven't tampered with yet, which is from the November 2022 batch. If I look at the whole picture, there isn't really a big difference, but if I focus a little bit, especially on the 3 DJI boxes, I can see a difference, and I still have to conclude that the camera from August, which I fixed, is better focused than the brand new camera from the November 2022 batch. So if I zoom into 100%, I can clearly see here now these 3 DJI boxes. The 2 small ones are 30 centimeters from the camera, and the big box is 40 centimeters from the camera. And you can see that at 30 centimeters neither camera is really focused perfectly, but it's clearly better on the one I fixed, on the old one. But at 40 centimeters, if you look at the outline of the box, on the letters, you can clearly see that the old camera, which I focused myself, is better focused than the brand new one from DJI from the November 2022 batch. So maybe I can zoom in a bit further on the letters. Here you can see the difference. Yeah, here is clearly visible. And yeah, so I have to conclude that unfortunately with the November 2022 batch there is still some variation with the calibration, and yeah, I have to say, what the fuck, DJI? It's been quite a long time now. Now that said, the new one doesn't really look bad. If I got a camera like this, like the first time around, I would never really go down this rabbit hole. I wouldn't just notice this. I only can really see this as I compare these two side by side. But the first camera I got from August was just terribly out of focus. It was like upscaled 480p, and I twisted the lens counterclockwise by 30 degrees or something. While this one, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna give it a twist, but it's gonna be like few degrees, single-digit degrees counterclockwise, and probably I will make another video about this when I do it, which will be my last video. But yeah, I went down this rabbit hole and I just can't let go. Now, what's also a bit interesting, I would say strange, between these two pictures is that on the old one it seems that the sharpness or contrast maybe is ramped up quite a bit more, especially if I look at these circles. Here at first glance it looks pretty much the same, but a little bit sharper on the old one. But if I look closer, I can see that the old one has more errors, and the contrast is definitely
definitely higher. Like if you look at the Android control buttons on the tablet, on the new one you can clearly see the shape of the buttons, but on the old one it's like just a bunch of pixels with very high contrast between them. And if I look at the circles, like this circle and this one is actually connected, which it shouldn't be, while at the new one it isn't. So it's almost like this is speculation. I mean, this is a raw picture, so there shouldn't be any processing from the camera, but it's almost like the firmware isn't really the same between these two cameras, even though it says it's the same firmware version. So this is just speculation, hard to say. What I can say for sure is that if I look at this box, which is 40 centimeters away, the big one from the camera, I can clearly see that it's better focused on the camera I fixed myself than on the brand new camera from the November 2022 batch.
Okay, recording a video on camera number 2, the November batch. Recording on camera number 1, the August batch, which I fixed. Okay, recording a video on camera number 2, the November batch. Recording on camera number 1, the August batch, which I fixed.